Director Lokesh, man of the moment. Over the past around, shall we say, 10 years, maybe slightly less, he has been a hot up and coming director in Kollywood. The triad of Lokesh Kanagaraj, Nelson Dilip Kumar, and Atli have been the new wave of Kollywood directors. Although none have really gone to the 1000 crore situation, except for Atli with the Shah Rukh Khan movie. I think it did quite well in terms of box office collection. Kollywood still lagging behind the 1000 crore dream, right? So some things got to give, some things got to change. The whole structure, in fact, in terms of teamwork, for example, if you see the relatively smaller Kannada film industry and relatively, how to say, more traditional Andhra, traditional as in they used to be more, how to say, more commercial and more mainstream compared to, say, the Kerala film industry. All of them have shown great teamwork is a key to success, whereby the actors make sacrifices by committing for a long time. The team makes sacrifices by not taking huge salary until the project is completed. Whereas in Tamil Nadu, the commercialism, the capitalism seems to be very strong on everybody's agenda. Everybody says, give me my money first and give me the maximum money possible. Beyond that, I don't care, right? So that culture is causing Kollywood to eventually self-implode and be left behind other industries. Anyway, I come back to the main point I wanted to talk, which is about Lokesh Kanagaraj, some of the things he's been talking about recently on the run-up to the Coolie film release. As we know, Loki has done relatively few films, and he has a knack for getting into hot water due to certain of his words when he's giving interviews or statements. So let's see what he has done. He has done the film Managram, one of those what we call multi-link, hyperlink kind of style of films, which was already years ago done by the Mexican director. I forgot the name of the film. It was one of our nice films back in the day. I think Amoros Perros, if I'm not mistaken. And then he made subsequent films like Kaidi with Karthi, the son of Sivakumar, and subsequently other very well received films. He did Master with Vijay, and then Vikram with Kamal Hassan, Leo with Vijay, which is one of the peak hype films, but sort of crumbled. And again, he got in trouble for his statements and interviews where he started talking about the flashback of Mansur Ali Khan as why could it not be a fake how to say flashback. So but subsequently he walked back that comment. He said that he takes into account all criticism, and although he felt that the concept of human sacrifice to the gods are still happening based on articles you've seen in the newspaper, but in the mass consciousness or the public consciousness, they consider that those kind of events as like very esoteric or very very out of reality or whatever it is. Objectively speaking, yes, those things is still now is occurring somewhere here and there, but the mainstream is not feeling it, right? So what he talked about recently, some of his interviews are in Tamil, so for those who speak English, I'll try to share some of the points as well as my take on them. So Monica, he said something about Monica, interestingly enough. So this is a question a lot of people ask. They said, why is a song like Monica in a Lokesh film? Lokesh films are known for like minimal romance, rapid paced action film set in the night with somebody eating biryani. But in this situation, Loki was very honest about it, very forthcoming about it. He said he don't want to reveal too much of the plot, okay, and he needed something for the production, for the marketing, for such an expensive film. So either way, he had to put in like such a song to create some kind of interest. But he said he tried to put it so that it's not too jarring, it's not too sexualized, overtly sexual, and so on. And in that context, he says he couldn't artificially squeeze in Rajini into that song, because many people asked why is Rajini left out in such a big song, in such a big Rajini movie. I mean, the whole thing about Rajini film is that people want to Rajini, right? So it's a bit ironic that they did not put him inside there. And regarding what do you call it, Saubin Shah's very well received dance. So this one, Loki got it right. He saw his previous performances and liked the dancing, and so he had to utilize that innate skill that Saubin had. And the outcome, as we see, is people are quite pleased with it. Apparently, some other actor was supposed to play Saubin's role. I'm not sure it's Fahad Fasil or what, but anyway, sometimes as Loki believes a lot things are fated, and if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. And same thing with Sathyaraj as well. Sathyaraj is one of the very famous character actors now. He started off as a villain and a very good one at that, same like Rajini, and then he transferred to hero roles just like Rajini as well. And now he's doing character role plus like he's quite a versatile actor. And apparently, some time back, Sathyaraj has contacted Lokesh to ask for any good roles. This is interesting because this explains why people keep asking how come Shankar failed in getting Sathyaraj for the Shivaji film with Rajini, but Lokesh can. So it's not like Lokesh's own effort, but it's the fact that Sathyaraj already expressed interest in working with Lokesh before that, after seeing Vijay Sethupaji's role in Master. So that maybe made it easier for Lokesh to convince Sathyaraj to join the film. And apparently in the film, Rajini and Sathyaraj were having a great time. Rajini is always a very forgiving and spiritual person. So even though people are having any hatred towards him, he easily forgives. Regarding Amir Khan's role, Loki said they did take some time because they were kind of looking at various people, big names, and see who can come to play such a big character. I think it's like a super villain, maybe something above the smaller villains of the film. Like Nagarjuna is a big antagonist to superstar, but I think there'll be like a big boss, something like that. So probably Amir Khan is slotted into that role. And regarding Nagarjuna, it seems as Loki, sorry, for me it's interesting. Number one, Loki claims that his film has been multi-star from the very beginning, from Managaram itself. But I think Loki has a special, peculiar interest in turning heroes into villains and trying to persuade them to do it, and he is quite successful at that. I think one of the difference compared to other directors is that besides the ability to give box office hit, and also Loki's track records of showing heroes as villains in a positive way, like what happened to Surya, although came in as a villain Rolex in the film Vikram, but people loved it. So using all this track record and so on, he probably is easier for him. He has the interest as well to convince mainstream heroes to try something different, to play antagonists and all. So although he claims that he had to sit for 7 or 8 sittings with Nagarjuna to convince him to do such a role, but finally he agreed, and I think Loki went to town with it. So maybe he wanted to explore violence to the extreme, and hence the film did get an A certificate. I think that's the whole big interesting different topic, how various things combine to create an A certificate for Coolie, and what are its commercial implications. I think I will talk about the whole A certificate story in a different video, because also various very violent Rajini films have gotten away with UA or whatever. So that's a topic for another day. But among Loki's interviews, even the Tamil ones, he's been talking about these points that I mentioned just now, Monica, and how it came to be, how did all these stars like Sathyaraj and Nagarjuna enter the picture, what he thinks of 1,000 crore box office. Of course, he said everybody would love that, but he don't want to artificially pressurize himself to do that, and that's his idea of it. He just want to make a good film. If 1,000 crores, it's well and good. It's good luck, right? And his main source of stress, he said, is when he's given a deadline to make release a film by a certain date. Earlier days, he says he used to take it as a challenge, but now as he's getting older, he finds that his quality of the filmmaking itself and his own stress levels go very high when he has such a deadline. And so he decided to next time, when all future projects including Coolie, he wants to make the call on when would the release date would be, so he can work at a more reasonable pace. He said regarding Leo 2, Master 2 with Vijay as well, he had the interest, but Vijay is not in politics, so it's very unlikely. Okay guys, thank you. Do comment.